America's backbone was built on blue-collar business grit, grind, and muscle. This is where you stop working for the business, and the business starts working for you.
Kevin, at this point, we're kind of jaded because we've built this environment of abundance around us, but the abundance mindset versus the scarcity mindset is a very real thing, and the majority of the world, unfortunately, really does live in a scarcity mindset. We see it all the time from the way people communicate, the way people act, the way people hate on someone else that's doing better than them. And it's sad because I heard one of my mentors, Tim Brotz, one time sit there and say, you standing in the sunshine and me standing in the sunshine, just because we're both there soaking up the sun doesn't mean you took any of my sunshine away. And I thought, what a powerful statement to make, because that is the reality of life. Money's being printed every single day. There is thousands of the same type of businesses in our nation right now today. But nobody responds and acts the same way in every single area, which leaves ample opportunity for everyone. And most people are so scared that if see someone else succeed, that means it's taking away from them. What's your thought on this?
Man, I have a lot of thoughts because it's kind of, we'll call it the scarcity mindset. A worse one is the broke mindset. I never had the broke mindset, but I had the scarcity one.
Yeah.
And it's kind of like, maybe you get it from your environment. You definitely get it from your environment. It could be your parents, everything, how you grow up. And you think that things are scarce. There's not enough money. You're always on a budget. You always things. And you start to see everything through that lens. And that's all you see. And I changed it, I mean, late in life. Where I was just abundance. Now all I see is opportunity and money. There's always plenty of it. But what I see is in our masterminds and groups, who have all these guys, they're doing really well, you never hear that scarcity mindset. It's just, that's the key to it. They all want everybody else to win. If somebody's killing it, we won't say the number, but there's a guy who made more than half of $100 million last year. In 1 year.
1 year.
And the year before he did something similar. And he also helped make a ton of millionaires that we know of, okay? Nobody in there is negative. I'm sitting there talking to him. I just want to hear about, I already know what he did because I talked to him many times, but I just want to hear things he did, what he learned and everything, where somebody else just wants to say, it's fake. It's a rented Lambo. You couldn't be doing that. You're making money off other people's labor. He's not doing any of that.
And there is people out there. There are those gurus that are faking it and just trying to sell a course or something. But if that's your first thought process that you jump to, you got to check yourself.
So I see those gurus and I just filter it out. I'm like, that doesn't make sense to me. It's BS. I don't feel the need to comment and get into it with them. I just move on, scroll on. And then we saw that. So somebody put a post up yesterday. I know her. She's super bright and everything. And she put a post and she got people angry on Blue Collar Millionaire. But what was key to me is I saw all these comments of people I don't know. There's 60,000 members in there. But I saw some comments of people we do know, and they were very positive. But the people I do know, like I know one guy's doing over $1 million a month in his business. Like that's why he has that attitude, because he knows that can be absolutely true. He's not trying to figure it out. He's just saying, God bless. But whereas if somebody else is struggling, it's like watching negative news. If you watch negative news about shootings and all kinds of things, it's easy to just blame the economy, to blame Biden, to blame everything else.
That's it.
And all that people were saying is people with the abundance, they look within themselves, they know it's out there, and then they just look for solutions. They look for reasons to make it happen. Where so many people with the broke mindset, they're looking to tear people down because they need that, because if somebody's actually doing that much better, it makes them feel inferior and subconscious about themselves. And really what they should do is, okay, this person's doing something different. They're not better or smarter than me. They just figured out something. How can I learn that?
So I remember moving through my 20s, and I made just a ton of decisions that stuck me in a very lacking scarcity mindset. And what I did is, first of all, I got so sick and tired of being in that type of environment that I began to change my actions and my environment that I let speak into my life. You know, there's a song that says, be careful what you hear, be careful what you see, old nursery rhyme type thing. And so I made sure that everything that I was digesting was stuff that was talking about the potential of what could be in a positive manner, not a negative manner. So I got on YouTube and I got in touch with Grant Cardone's communication, where he was saying, money's everywhere, it's being printed. Anybody can do this, just most people won't do it. And then Tony Robbins talking about the whole walking on fire and the mindset and giving some biological type stuff behind it. And then you've got Jim Rohn just talking about practical stuff, saying, hey, it's not getting to the millions, it's the man that you become when you hit the millionaire status. And that's what I digested. I didn't digest the shooting that happened down the street from the news, on the local news, or the economy failing on the national news. I didn't take any of that, and I just shut every bit of this negativity out. And I had some people say, well, you need to know what's happening in the market and what's happening in the current news so that you can make better decisions. And I was like, no, I don't. Because the reality of that is I just need to make the decision to get up and make the phone call, to go to work, to provide the job, to do the best service I can in that moment, to write my processes down, to look for new work, to hire more help so that I can provide and fulfill the new work that's coming in. And I just took my stuff in tranches like that, and then I stuck myself around people that were doing better than me further down in the game, and I started mimicking what they were doing. I didn't invent anything, I just mimicked it. And before I know it, I'm 5 years down the road, I'm 8 years, I'm 9 years down the road. All this started at 30 for me. It took me a really long time to get through this thick skull. It's 30 for me, and I'm 39 now, and I look 9 years down the road and I'm like, look where I'm at. All because of one decision to another decision to another decision to another decision of creating this wonderful environment, of getting around people that celebrate other people's success, that are doing great things and stay a constant student in life where they're trying to bring on new information. And I can't, I don't see negative on my news feeds. On my social media, I don't see negative come across my TV. I don't hear people talk negative in my circles, and it's because I built an environment that is producing abundance in my life. And I've seen hockey stick growth in my relationships, in my finances, in my mindset, in my character, in my children, in my family. That is why it's so important to really pay attention to what you allow in your ears, in your eyes, and in your close environment so that you don't get caught back into that scarcity mindset, because it wants to grab you. Yeah. There's so many people that think that way. And it goes back to what we started this whole thing off of, what Tim Brott said. You standing in the sunshine with me, Kevin, doesn't take any of my sunshine away. We both can get a tan, we can both get our vitamin D, we can both enjoy that sunlight. The cool thing is we can stand in the sunlight together, and now we got camaraderie, and we have that synergy, and we can sit there and enjoy what is available to us. And when you start, there's an old proverb that says, you can run fast alone, but you can run far with others. And I want to run far. I'm not trying to sprint and die out, because I understand that this life thing is a race and it's not just a sprint. And if you aren't hanging out with the right people, you will feel like it is hell moving down the road. So find the people that are abundant mindset, not the ones that's constantly hating. And you know it. It's easily spotted, the negative.
Everybody knows the saying, the 5 people around you, you're the average of that 5 person. I feel like everybody kind of believes that. But if you ever tell somebody, and I did this, like I knew that was true, and then I would try to justify it. Like I would try to remove a couple people who were clearly in that 5. I'm like, well, it's not, I don't really hang out with them that much.
Yeah.
I remember telling that to one of my friends. He's like, no, you pretty much always do.
Yeah.
And the truth is, they pull it out. If you're around 5 people who are doing big things, positive mindsets, you're going to be the 6th person to do it. If you're sitting at a bar, everybody, just look at the difference from, say, Dealmaker to maybe back, because I used to sit at bars and talk to people.
Yeah.
We were talking, it was talking about other people, for that could be, they were bitching about their boss, they were bitching about their girlfriends or wives.
Yeah.
They were always bitching about something. It was never positive. With the deal maker, everybody's is positive about people around them.
Right.
From employees to spouses to everything, but we're really talking about what can we do together.
Yeah.
Like I'm either asking somebody like that guy who made all like, tell me how you did it or what's next for you, right? But then we're also talking about what we can be involved in, and that's something we're going to bring to Blue Collar Millionaire.
Yeah.
It'll be there before even this podcast comes out. So it's like, it's just totally different. And I never was really comfortable with the just talk. I would just listen to guys because I was self-employed and they would be talking about literally for years about the same problems at a job. And I remember just sometimes I'd be like, at what point do you do something? But this is what I'd be thinking in my head. But sometimes they were close friends. I would just say, like, bro, this is the last conversation I can have about this.
Yeah.
I could talk to you about how to solve it and what to do, but I can't be talking.
And they need that real truth. If you want something new, you've got to do something new. If you want something to change, you've got to change something. And most folks never do that. Here's what I've noticed. If I came to you, Kevin, first time seeing you today, and I said, hey man, how's your day going? I don't care if you woke up with a sinus infection and you were dragging or anything. You're like, I'm doing good, man. How about yourself? Yeah. But the other person's gonna say, man, I don't know. I'm not feeling great today. It's a choice.
Yeah.
And there is a pattern and a habit in that train of thinking. And if you are in that scarcity mindset right now, you've got to flood yourself with that more abundance type of information. That's why I got on YouTube, because I had 10 years of training of being in the scarcity mindset, but I got on YouTube and started digesting every little moment in the car, going from job to job, coming into work, leaving work, sitting at my house, first thing in the morning, using the restroom, whatever. I was sitting there digesting it because I had to take that habit of scarcity out of my thought process.
So why don't we both give a couple hacks? I'll give you a hack and then we'll close out. Here's a hack you can do if you have nobody around you. So I moved to Atlanta. I didn't know anybody. I purposely was like, kind of want to leave some negativity alone up northeast. So of course I still had some friends, but I said, I'm going to tell you how you can have positivity in your life and they're not even your friends. You can have them virtually.
Yeah.
Okay? You could be on podcasts. What if you're listening to back then I was listening to Jim Rohn.
Yeah.
I was listening to some other guys people don't know or whatever. Business guys, they were talking they became my friends.
Same.
I was working and I was listening to them all day. I liked this show called The Profit by Marcus Lemonis. He was buying businesses. I just loved I used to just watch it on loop while I was working. It was that was my atmosphere. I didn't listen to anything. I started silencing texts from certain people. I wouldn't even read them. Yeah. And then I just kind of let it go. And that's what I did. And then what you're reading, and then I was watching stuff on YouTube, that's all I was taking in. That's all I saw. And I purposely don't watch news and watch all the negative stuff. I don't want somebody else creating a narrative for me. Might be their life. It's not mine. People talk about it's not about this president and this. I'll tell you, I've been owning business for 33 years. The president has never mattered.
I'm glad you said that because so many people needed to hear it.
Absolutely no difference. Yeah. I make money with every single president.
So you're talking about the information you digest. That's key, and I would say that would be the number one hack. Another hack would be breaking those thought patterns and thinking about what you do have instead of what you don't have. So anytime that I'm feeling any kind of negative thought process, I'm going to sit there and say, I'm healthy. I can walk. I can talk, I can see, I can hear, I don't need hearing aids, I can go work out, I've got a vehicle to drive, I don't have to walk, I've got a house to go to that has heat and cooling, that has a roof over it, that's not leaking, I've got food in my refrigerator, I've got a wife that loves me and we're not in discord all the time, we have a harmony relationship, a relationship full of harmony, I've got a daughter that greets me at the door, I've got a business, may cause me fucking headaches at times, but I have got a business that I own, that I've built, that has employees that appreciate me, customers that appreciate my business brand. When you start going through this list of stuff, being grateful, it is extremely hard to hold those negative thoughts. It's breaking the thought patterns. And when you do this over and over again, those thought patterns change. And now I find myself very rarely sitting in a negative attitude. The majority of I don't even hardly listen to motivational stuff anymore on YouTube, where that's all I digested for the first 2 years of my 30s, because I needed it to train my thought patterns. Now it's all technical, business, opportunity, listen to other business stories, entrepreneurs, rags to riches.
I never knew you did, because that's the same thing. I was like, I needed to be pumped with it all the time. Until it became just like, I don't need it anymore.
Yeah.
I see it everywhere.
Now you're the inspiration. Now you're giving out the feedback to the people around you.
Yeah.
And this is what I talk about when I say fill yourself up first. Get your house in order before you start trying to give back, because you got nothing to give out until you're full. And when you're full, it'll just start overflowing and you start impacting the environment around you.
This was a good one. Next week, we're going to talk about, what do you want to have, an entire grape or 70% of a watermelon?
Yeah.
All right. A lot of guys have their CEO of a business doesn't really make money. They have an entire grape, and they should be building out a team or bringing in strategic partners so that they got 70% of a watermelon. Do you want to own the one rental that's, kind of a crappy property, or do you want to have a big chunk of an apartment complex? It's the same thing with business. I know what I want, but I had entire grapes.
Yeah, agreed. Same here.
It's just a mindset change, and so we're going to talk about that next week. We'll see you guys next week.